Thank you so much for joining us for another interview with King Solomon Entertainment, where we are committed to bringing you wonderful content, positive perspective, and moving our culture forward with our programming. We are so happy to have our special guest today. But before we get to our special guest, we're going to thank our partners and our sponsors, Heart to Heart for You.org, Hill to Hill. We want to thank the Moreland Greenwood Foundation, as well as the USC Black Alumni Association. Thank you so much for your partnership and your sponsorship. And if you are interested in sponsoring and partner with us, please reach out to King Solomon Entertainment TV. That's King Solomon Entertainment spelled all the way out .tv. And partner with us. We'll show you how to connect with us. If you want to support us directly, it's Cash App, capital J, capital L, capital C, lowercase LAYBON on Cash App, and Venmo is King Solomon Entertainment Company. Thank you guys so much for your support, for your help. And if you have not subscribed, please subscribe, follow us on all social media platforms, and share this video. We are on Twitter, King Solomon Entertainment and Media Group. We are on Facebook, King Solomon Entertainment Company. We are on Instagram, King_Solomon_ENT_CO_. We are on YouTube, James Clayton Videos. Thank you guys so much for your subscriptions, as well as supporting us, all that we do. We are so excited to have another special guest here on the Philanthropy at its Best platform, where we honor and we celebrate humanitarian and philanthropy efforts through the foundation of nonprofit organization, as well as humanitarianism. We are so glad to have Director Ashley Byrne from the People. Let me get this right, because this is a wonderful organization that I love, and I'm so glad they're here. People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals. As People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals, better known as PETA. Thank you so much for being here. Please introduce yourself to our audience, please.
Thank you very much for having me, James. My name is Ashley Byrne, and I'm Associate Director with PETA, and I'm very glad to be here to talk with you.
Thank you so much. So please, for those who don't know, what is PETA mission? I know people think animal rescue. What is PETA mission? What do PETA do?
Yeah, well, PETA's mission, our mission statement, our philosophy is that animals exist for their own purposes, and they don't exist for humans. They exist, they exist for their own purposes, and not for us to eat, wear, experiment on, use for entertainment, or exploit in any way. They feel fear and pain, and they have thoughts and desires and emotions just like we do. And so behind everything we do is this philosophy that animals deserve to be allowed to exist for their own purposes, whether or not they're useful to us, whether or not we think they're cute. That they all have right to to exist for themselves. And so we put that to work in a number of ways. You mentioned animal rescue, and we do have a wonderful team that facilitates a great deal of animal rescue, and we have affiliates around the world who do amazing work in that way. But we also have campaigns encouraging people to stop eating animals, stop wearing animals. We have campaigns advocating for the end of experiments on animals, and showing all the wonderful alternatives that we have available to us for all of these things. Sorry if it's a little noisy outside too. I'm located in New York City, so if you hear some background noise, that's what that is.
Thank you so much. She's coming back. Yes, so before she come back, so PETA, we're here with PETA today, guys. Thank you guys so much. The internet, that's how it goes. And she's gonna when she get back, Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you. Lost you for a second.
Okay. Yeah. So let's go back. Okay. So can you hear me now?
I can, yes.
Yes. Thank you guys so much. So you spoke directly to the rescuing part, the animal abuse, as far as you spoke to the cruelty part. Like you say, it's not for our own personal, but they have, they're little people, and they suffer. They go through the same emotions that we do. So we have to look at it like that. They're not for our accessories or our own personal use, and that's one of the things that PETA have really been so great at doing, as kind of human, the animal rights, animal protests. I know you guys don't concentrate so much on the rights. I know Humane Society do more of the rights, but you guys work together. That's a feeling that you at definitely getting people to understand what animals are purpose for.
Oops. I think. Oh, there we go. Yeah, and we do some work with legislation. You mentioned the Humane Society, and I think they probably focus a little more on that than we do, although we definitely, do focus some of our efforts there as well. But yeah, a great deal of our work goes into just encouraging people to think about animals differently and think about the inherent rights that animals have that go beyond their legal rights, just their rights to exist without unnecessary pain and suffering. That's I think that's something that people are becoming more aware of, and people are thinking more about social justice in general now, which is so important across the board. And so we are encouraging people to think about animals when they think about that as well, about the fact that everyone deserves to be free of unnecessary suffering inflicted by others, of oppression. Everyone deserves to have their interests considered.
Yes. Hello.
Hi. Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, this is terrible. That's just terrible connection. Terrible. I gotta get on another line.
Technology.
You froze.
Uh-oh.
Oh my Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can't hear you. I can't hear
You can't hear me?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I can't hear you.
Oh, you can't? Uh-oh. Hey,
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah, I just the link is so bad. I just every time we start, um, it don't never it'll never it don't never behave long enough to get us through. It's the internet is really acting up today. I don't understand what's wrong with it. It's just
Huh.
acting bad.
And it's the internet, not the platform?
No, it's definitely the internet, because
Hmm.
yeah, it's definitely the internet. So I don't know what is going on. Let's try again. If not, I'm gonna have to get on another link, and get my laptop up and get on another link to get through it, because other than this, um, I don't know why I keep acting up. I have no idea. See, now it's fine, but soon we go online, it
Yeah.
starts to act up.
Yeah, that's
You
very
know?
strange. Huh.
And I think we still live. That's what this is so crazy about. We still live. So you talked about animal cruelty, and so please, I know. Tell us the difference between the Humane Society and the PETA.
Oh, sure. Well, we're two different nonprofit groups. I think that the Humane Society might have a bit more of a focus on legislation than we do, although we do some work with legislation on a national level, statewide level, local levels. But a lot more of our focus is on addressing the idea of animal rights, as in the fact that animals inherently have rights, whether we acknowledge them under the law or not. The fact that animals do have the right to to live without being made to suffer for our purposes. And so encouraging people to think about the fact that we don't have to eat animals, we don't have to wear animals, we certainly don't have to use entertainment or experiment on them. And so, so PETA has many campaigns addressing animal exploitation, exposing it, because I think the biggest reason that it continues to exist is because so many people are unaware of how much cruelty goes on behind the scenes, whether you're talking about the meat and dairy and egg industries, whether you're talking about products like leather or fur, or the circus. So exposing it and then showing people great alternatives that we have. It has never been easier to live cruelty-free and to do it without missing a thing. To be able to eat delicious food, go out to restaurants, have a stylish, luxurious wardrobe, just everything that you would do. Even when you're talking about testing on animals, like medical animal testing, it has been proved again and again that animal tests actually just slowed down the process of finding cures for diseases. They allow unscrupulous people to distort results regarding what works and what doesn't. And it's really just as unpredictable as flipping a coin. So we want people to know that, with modern technology, it's not just unethical to eat animals, wear animals, test on animals. It's actually just not really beneficial for us either. So that's where a great deal of PETA's focus goes.
No, you guys do a wonderful work, and I'm so glad you're here to really clarify a lot of misconceptions, because you guys' organization definitely have a wonderful reputation, but it do come with a cost, because you guys are tough as far as, like you say, exposing people who do practice this. So those people frowned upon PETA imposing, but I think if you guys did not stand up for the rights of animals, like I said, a lot of people, out of sight, out of mind, they don't know. So they it's like, they don't see it, they don't feel it. So it's like, oh, okay, but you guys definitely bring it to the forefront. And also, like you mentioned, it's become embedded in our way of life, because think about vegan, and vegan is like no dairy, no animal products, no nothing. So everybody's going vegan. And you think about actually in the kind of like the way you guys have influenced the fashion industry, like you said, with minks and furs, now it's faux foxes, and a lot of fashion is conscious about animal cruelty. And so we have to thank PETA for that, because you guys have been on the front line and at the helm of this for a long time. Like I said, you guys' reputation definitely precedes the organization and the wonderful work that you do. That's why I'm so glad to have Ms. Ashley Byrne on today, because of the wonderful work that PETA does. And so let's also talk about, in regards to neutering. You guys are really big on having the animals neutered. So what's the cause behind that?
Well, first of all, thank you so much for all of your very kind words about PETA's work. And yeah, thank you for bringing that up. So one of our big major campaigns is encouraging people to spay and neuter their cats and their dogs and other companion animals, and also to always adopt. Always, when you're bringing an animal home, to make sure that you're adopting from a shelter or a rescue group and not buying from a breeder or a pet store. It's so, the animal overpopulation issue in our country is it's staggering. Millions of animals enter shelters every year, and about half of them end up being euthanized because of a lack of good homes. And really the industry that sells animals as pets is it's a money-making industry just like any other. So they really try to downplay the effect that buying animals has. But the truth is that, you know, when you buy an animal from a breeder or a pet store, or even if you let your, you know, your cat or your dog get pregnant and have puppies or kittens, that means that animals in shelters are going to lose their chance at a good home and possibly lose their lives. And these animals are, you know, they're wonderful. They're just as loving, and they have just as much potential, and they, you know, they make wonderful companions. A lot of them are actually purebred too. If you're looking for a specific breed, the fact is that, I mean, if you go on petfinder.com, you'll see that animals of every breed, even the ones that are, you know, being sold in pet stores for very high prices, they're available. And you might have to just do a little more research or like wait a little longer, but the fact is that they're out there. So we really encourage people to always be sure you're adopting, to always be sure you're spaying and neutering, and, you know, you don't accidentally, you know, wait on that and take your dog to the dog park and then suddenly end up with a litter of puppies, because for every one of those puppies, there's a shelter dog out there too who needs a home very badly. And I personally can, you know, speak to this. You know, I have a just beautiful, wonderful little dog who is a Pekingese. I mean, if you go to a breeder or a pet store, you know, this is a very expensive breed of dog. He came from a shelter in Jersey City, and he had been there twice. And when I brought him home, he was emaciated and filthy and covered in fleas, and he's the cutest, most loving dog you could ever meet in your life. And I can't walk outside without people stopping me and wanting to know where I got him. So, you know, that's just a big campaign for us. We just want people to know that, you know, if you love animals, and I think most people who want to bring a cat or a dog home do love animals, just make sure you're getting them spayed and neutered, and make sure you're adopting.
Oh, thank you so much. You watching Philanthropy at its best. We're here today with PETA, with Miss Ashley Byrne, one of the directors of the organization. And we're so glad that she's here to clear up and to inform us and to educate us about animal treatment and how to really make a difference in society with animals that we have to think of and their way of life. And so this is really eye-opening for me, because when you go to pet stores, you think you are helping. You think
Right.
you are, you know what I'm saying? You think you are doing a good deed. And I never even made the connection. I really thank you for that, because again, a lot of people are, you know, just not aware, you know. And
right,
so,
totally. I think you're right. I think people love animals, and so many people think, oh, you know, here's an animal in a pet store and they're cute, and, you know, they never put it together that they could be hurting animals by doing that. You know, that's not what people are intending to do when they want to bring home an animal companion. So that's why we talk about it, because, you know, we know that people don't intend to cause harm when they do that, but it does keep that industry going. And if you see where a lot of these animals are coming from too, whether you're talking about not just the cats and dogs, but the birds and reptiles and little mice, and, you know, guinea pigs that are sold in these stores too. You know, we have done investigations into the companies that supply them, and what we found was hideous. I mean, you will find these animals being stacked like a bunch of plastic toys inside of a big box. You know, a lot of them arrive dead, or, you know, I mean, they're left without medical care when they're sick. It's the industry of breeding animals to sell them for pets really, you know, needs to stop, and we need to adopt our companion animals. And again, the truth is that there are so many out there. If you're looking to bring an animal into your home, there is definitely a rescue group or a shelter that's going to be more than happy to help you find the right fit, whether you know, again, whether you're talking about a guinea pig or a cat or a dog, you know, it's they're out there and they need us to adopt them.
You spoke only for a minute. Let's speak about the veterinarian care, the medical care of animals. A lot of people think it's really, really expensive to keep up animals when you go to the veterinarian for shots or visits or emergencies, anything. It's very expensive for the veterinarian.
You know, it can be, for sure. And that's one of the reasons why, as wonderful it is as it is to have companion animals, we always tell people, don't ever do this on a whim. Don't give them as a gift to somebody, because whoever's bringing an animal home really needs to be sure that they are ready to take on that financial responsibility, that daily, you know, routine responsibility. So yeah, that's actually right before Christmas. It's good to talk about this too. The holidays are around the corner, and you know, you don't want to give animals as gifts, because you're actually giving someone, you know, a lot of bills that they'll have to pay, and you know, yeah, responsibilities they'll have to fulfill, and people really need to be on board with that. But you know, the good thing for those of us, you know, who have you do have animals, is that, you know, there are ways you can prepare for that. I mean, there's insurance, there's health insurance that you can buy for your animals that a lot of people have found to be very helpful. And so, you know, we encourage people to look into that. And you know, for anyone who, it's a hard time financially right now too, and we want people to know that there are low-cost clinics and sliding scale who will help if you're struggling. And you know, especially like for spay neuter, there are a lot of places that will do it at a low cost or for free. And people who live in the Hampton Roads area where PETA is located, PETA actually has a spay neuter, a mobile spay neuter clinic, where we'll frequently do low cost or even free spay neuter surgeries for animals in the local area for people who need that. So there are definitely resources if you have an animal and you know, you found that the economy's, you know, making things difficult. I know that a lot of groups in different areas have also started pet food pantry services. You know, we know that right now with you know, these times of economic struggle, a lot of people are you know, are having to turn to different resources like food banks. And so there are groups that are providing those services for animals too. So anyone who's finding themselves struggling right now should definitely take a look at what's in their area and reach out, because you know, because people are, you know, animals are part of the family, and there are a lot of groups that are acknowledging that and helping people who are struggling right now with that.
Yeah, I have heard of referrals and different vouchers people can receive to assist in certain services and according to animals. Let's speak about the injured animals. Is it a more challenging for the injured animals to find homes, or, you know, I know when they get outdoors in wildlife, it could be very treacherous out there, and a lot of them obtain injuries and etc. So, have it been more challenging for the injured animals to get homes? How do that work?
Well, I mean, it's certainly, you know, that's always a consideration. Animals with injuries will require more care and more time, usually, before they can be adopted. You know, PETA, again, in the Hampton Roads area and in North Carolina, PETA has field workers, rescue workers who will go out and you know, and you know, I mean, injured animals, whether you're talking about a cat or a dog, or you know, or injured wildlife, and we actually, you can, wherever you live in the country, if you ever encounter an animal emergency, you can call PETA, and we will help you find the local resources to help that animal, even if we don't have, you know, an office ourselves in that area. You know, we help people from all around the country every week via, you know, via our emergency services, because we know that people do care, and if they see an animal who is injured or you know, stuck in a storm drain, or you know, or just being mistreated, they want to help, but they don't always know what to do.
You hear me?
I
So
can.
yes, so it's, a lot of interruptions. Somebody just called. So we're going to pretty much conclude, and I'm hoping that we can either probably bring you back on,
Yeah, I would
or
love that.
that this is not too bad. We got the word out. Like I say, this stuff happens in broadcasting and technology. We just keep on rolling with it.
The internet
But
is unpredictable.
I'm telling you, when you called me back, I was so excited and I was so happy to bring, because when I started this platform, I thought about foundations and organizations that really solidifies humanitarian, and before it becomes, cliche or a trend, if you will, to jump on certain bandwagons. You guys have been out there, been doing this, been at the helm, at the forefront, and I just really wanted to bring organizations on like that solidified why I started this platform of Philanthropy at its best. Those who are really, really the heart and soul of philanthropy work, of humanitarianism. And you guys, in regards to animals, have been just that for a very long time. And much respect to PETA and what they do, animal rights, being the voice for animals. They wouldn't have a voice if it wasn't for PETA. And if you guys was not as I would call good aggressive, because I remember in New York in those winters, I remember the days when you guys got media coverage for destroying $50,000 coats, but what I call good aggression, and it was the days that really put you guys on the map. And definitely Sex and the City always used to do the, show you guys stuff. So, but still before that, you guys have really done wonderful work, and just really a respected organization, and for you guys to really be the voice of animals and animal cruelty and all the testing that goes on, makeup and all this stuff that we know because of you guys. We just wanted to hear at Philanthropy at its best say thank you to PETA. Thank you so much for coming on and sharing with us. We got to have you back first of the year.
Would love that.
We would love to have you back. And I'm just apologetic for the internet interruptions that it happens, but I'm so glad you came, and thank you so much. Please, let's conclude on clearing up a misconception about PETA, and we'll give out our media handles and we'll end on that note. What's one of the misconceptions that you want to share with our audience about your organization?
That's a great question. I think the biggest misconception is always that you can help animals or you can help people, but that it's not the same thing. I think people think, oh, well, if you're helping animals, that means you're not helping people. The truth is that the issues that affect animals affect people too. And when you do things that are good for animals, it actually is good for people. Whether you're talking about the fact that eating vegan is better for our health and better for our environment, and that the meat industry and other animal agriculture industries put us at risk for things like pandemics like the one we're in right now. Whether you're talking about the fact that animal testing actually is not effective and slows down our ways to find cures for diseases. Just across the board, the fact is that the issues that affect animals tend to affect people too, and doing the right thing for animals actually helps us. And also just the fact that, just making a kind choice doesn't take anything out of the time that we can spend helping people too. So, it's literally usually coming down to something as simple as, I'm just gonna choose a veggie burger at my next meal. I'm gonna choose vegan leather shoes next time I go shopping. And it just takes little decisions there to be kind, and just takes nothing away from it actually adds to the kindness in the world and the compassion. So I would just say that, people should remember it's never a choice, that making a kind decision is beneficial for everyone.
No, that's wonderful. Well said, wonderful. And we definitely got to keep in mind on you guys laying a foundation on how we should look at treated animals, who animals are, and what their purpose are. And thank you guys for establishing that, because we know the animals couldn't think of it on their own. So.
I appreciate that, James. Thank you so much. And it's like that's the thing. It's like we as humans, we have the privilege of the fact that, we get to make these decisions. We get to, we get to vote. We get to spend our money. We make little decisions and little votes for what we believe in all day, every day. And exactly, it's up to us. We have that choice. So, we should use it for good.
Yeah. And we also have to give credit where credit is due. A lot of people are animal lovers, and we do know there is a scale of upper echelon, if you will, like a better term. Those who have good homes, we know animals that have really good homes and really, really well. We just need more of that,
Right, exactly. Yeah, totally.
Some overdo it, but that's a good thing. That's a good thing,
Well, and you bring up a great point, because honestly, at the end of the day, I think a lot of us have fun going over the top for our animals and giving them, Christmas presents or little.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
But really, at the end of the day, it takes so little to really make them happy. They just really want kindness, and they want their basic needs and fulfilled, and companionship. And honestly, for instance, our dogs, our cats, if they have food and a warm place to sleep and lots of love from us and exercise, they don't ask for a lot more than that, So
I just remember being in Beverly Hills on Rodeo Drive in a drop top Rolls Royce, and the poodle had the same haircut as his owner, with the shades on the shop. And when they was blowing in the breeze, I say, what?
Right.
So you got those too, so I just want to put that out there, that you got treated really, really well. You can't get better than that, right?
Right.
But it actually does. Thank you so much. Please put your social media handle. Let them know how to get in touch with you guys, please.
I will. Yes. Thank you so much, James.
Can you say your social media to our audience?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So it's PETA.org. You can find us on Facebook. It just, if you just put in PETA or People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals, we'll come right up. Same with Instagram. Just at PETA, and Twitter. We're at TikTok. We're on all of it. You can find us.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you can find us, very, very easily. And please do, because we're always sharing content, and some of it is serious. But a lot of it is fun too. Actually, like right now, we have lots of great recipes and suggestions for Thanksgiving. Encouraging people to have, Thanks vegan. And we have holiday gift guides and all kinds of fun things. So people should look us up.
Thank you so much, Ms. Ashley, for being here, and thank you so much to PETA. Definitely reach out, definitely get involved, see how you can help, how you can contribute. Please reach out to PETA. Thank you so much for joining us for another interview with Philanthropy at its Best, where we honor and celebrate humanitarian efforts, changing lives one person at a time, one animal at a time. In this case, thank you guys so much. Please connect with us, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, King Solomon Entertainment, and subscribe, share. Miss Ashley and the PETA will be here again soon. Hopefully first year, have you guys back. Thank you so much, and enjoy your day. Thank you again. Thank you so much.
Thank you, James.
Bye-bye.
Bye.